Today we're going to continue doing compound events, and as I said earlier, we're going to play a little game. So, the class is going to play against me. All right, so there are going to be two hidden spinners. Spinner A has numbers 2, 3, and 4 on it. Spinner B has numbers 6, 7, and 8 on it. Here are the rules. We're going to spin both spinners. We're going to add up the results. If the sum is even, one team gets a point. If it's odd, the other team gets a point. First team to 10 points wins. So, let's make a probability table. Cooper, tell me how you were making your table.
I did 2, 3, and 4 on
Going vertically?
like down.
Okay.
And then 6, 7, 8.
Okay. Does it matter which way you do this? No. And we're going to add these together. So I'm going to put a reminder there that I'm adding those. So this is going to be 8, 9, and 10. This will be 9, 10, and 11. This will be 10, 11, and 12. All right, so what's the probability that we're going to get an even? Well, how many evens were there?
5.
There are 5 evens out of how many?
9.
Out of 9. And the probability of getting an odd is how much? 4 out of 9. So based on this table and our probabilities, which one is more likely to win? Even. You're more likely to get an even than you are to get an odd according to this table. So if you want to win, seems like you ought to pick an even. But I'm going to let you guys pick. Which one are you picking?
Odd.
You guys are so distrustful.
Just because even has a high probability, I feel like.
You feel like I've rigged this somehow?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like every time something looks like it's a higher probability, it's not gonna
And
work.
now that we've said that, we're gonna lose.
all right. So if this is correct, even should win more often than odd, right? So let's not do a you against me. Let's just observe, okay? As to who wins, even or odds.
If we just do like a raise your hand thing, like.
Raise your hand thing.
Like if you raise your hand if you want odd.
No.
Yeah, let's vote. Let's vote, guys.
Yeah, we should vote.
Let's vote.
Please.
You guys want to play against me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's vote.
No.
If we divide the class.
None of you are old enough to vote. I'm the only one old enough to vote.
How do you know? We could be on the bucket.
How do I know? Because you guys all told me how old you were like the 3rd day of class. You're 19.
I've gotten older.
I'm identified as 45.
You're much older than you look.
Short, okay?
I'm literally 19.
All right. So
I'm literally 19.
let's keep track of odds and evens. And so we're going to play this. They said play it 5 times, right? At least. By the way, were those odds very much different?
No.
5 ninths and 4 ninths? Not a lot, right? So, odd, even. First 1 to 10 wins. All right, are you ready? I'm going to have to turn this thing back off. This is going to be a pain. I tell you what, because of how I would have to do this off and on over and over again, would somebody be willing to keep track for us? Ben, you
Oh my god.
all right. So, first spinner is a 3, Second spinner is a 6. That's odd. So odds have 1. 3 and 8. Odds have 2.
Let's go. Suits.
3 and 7. That's even. So it's 2 to 1, right? 3 and 8. That's odd again.
Let's go. Odd.
4 and 7. That's odd again.
We knew it.
Yes.
You guys are so distrustful. That's odd again.
Let's go.
Ben, are you keeping track?
We knew it.
Wait, my bad. You did? Oh.
How many times are we playing?
Until someone gets 10 points. That's even. How many points does even have?
2,
And odd has
5.
Let's go.
5.
Yeah.
3 and 6. That's odd. 3 and 6. That's odd.
7 to 2.
3 and 8. That's odd.
Let's go.
3 and 6. Is that 10 yet? One more?
Come on.
That's even.
No.
They're staging a comeback.
No.
Nope. Nope. What?
That's even.
No.
No.
Is it 9 to 4?
Yes.
No.
Uh-oh, I think I'm in trouble.
Let's go.
So that's odds.
Yeah, I knew it.
So odds won the first game.
You rigged it.
10 to 4.
You rigged odds?
9 to 4? 10 to 4? Yikes. All right, game 2, are you ready?
Here.
3 and 6, that's odd. 3 and 7, that's even. So it's 1 to 1.
One. Let's go odds.
3 and 8, that's odd.
One odds.
3 and 7, that's even.
Oh, this
Is it 2 to 2? Uh-oh. 3 and 8, that's odd.
It's gonna be even. Watch. Even.
3 and 7, that's even.
I like that.
What's going on
The
here?
next one's odd. And the next one's right. No, it's odd.
3 and 8, that's odd.
Did you change the spinners? I'm calling foul.
No,
Calling foul.
I,
This is rigged.
I think the next one's going to be odd.
I think that's gonna be even. What did I
He
say?
rigged. He rigged it. He rigged it. He's rigging it. He's rigging it. He made the first game a blowout, and then he made the next one close. He rigged it.
So where are we now? 5-4? 5 to 3?
Rigged.
Wait,
Rigged.
wait,
That's odd.
Wait, honestly, right?
That's odd. 7 to 3.
this time? It's gonna be the same as I watched.
That's odd. 8 to 3.
7.
That's odd.
What is this?
9 to 3. Come on, even.
It's gonna be
That's odd.
Rigged.
So odd won both of the first 2 games. Let's play game. Ready for game 3?
Hasn't even gotten over.
Wait,
Even has to have gotten over 4. Man,
Wait, what was
Wait,
the,
10 to 3 or 10
what
to
was the
4?
odds and evens for game 1 and 2?
9 and 4.
10 to 2.
We're getting 10 to 3.
Wait, the first game was.
Wait, 10 to 3 was this one right here.
10 to 3 was this one right here, and then the last one was 10 to 4.
so the other one started off close, but then it became a blowout.
Rigged.
Rigged. I call it.
All right, 3 and 8. That's odd.
9.
Yo, what?
3, all right. Hey, gentlemen. 3 and 6. That's odd. So it's odds 2, evens none.
But no, it's 10.
10, 3, 8. What?
That's even. So it's 2 to 1.
3, 8. Oh my.
That's even. It's 2 to 2.
3, 6.
8 is a 3.
3, 6.
This is rigged.
That's even. Evens went ahead.
No.
Rigged.
It's the first time evens been ahead.
Rigged.
3, 7.
Rigged.
3, 6.
Rigged.
That's odd.
There's a
That's the first 2.
8 and 3.
Is that 3-3?
8 and 3.
3 and 6.
8 and 3.
That's even. Even pulled back ahead.
No, 3, 6.
8 and 2.
3, 6.
3 to 6.
Nope.
Even is ahead by 2. Uh-oh.
7 again.
and 7 again.
3 and 6.
3 and 7. 3 and 7.
All right. All right, let's not get too carried away.
How many times did you put 7
This
in there?
is rigged.
Rigged.
He put 7.
Well, that's all right. So that's odd. What's the score?
4 to
4 to 6.
Watch it be 10.
4 to 6.
What did I say?
That's odd. That's now 5 to
3 and
6.
7. 3 and 7.
8. What?
Oh, that's even.
I don't like this.
Wait, we got 2. It's like all
3 and
all
7.
it's gonna be.
What I say?
That's odd.
3 and
It's
7.
7.
That's odd.
3 and 7.
So it's 9 to what?
7, 7.
What?
It's 7 7. Ooh, so odds caught up.
2 and 8. Johnny is who?
Oh, that's another odd.
3 and 7. What I say? What I say?
You got it wrong again. That's odd.
Oh, come on.
3 and 6.
That's odd.
Odds
Is that 10?
Wait, what is it?
10 to 7.
10 7? Well, that one was at least close.
Rigged.
I think you
Rigged.
put like 7 in there a little bit too high.
Yeah, you rigged
All right.
it.
All right. This is absolutely rigged.
Yay.
What I say?
Okay.
Who rigged it?
And Ben and I were talking about it before he started reading his book.
We do it.
All right. So here's the question. It's like, how can we rig this? Ben, what were you saying?
Because it's like hitting, so like you just like change the probabilities of getting the outcomes. Because when we did probability, we assumed that it was even probability.
Yeah, we assumed, and I let you go on your merry way, that all of these probabilities were the same.
That's why we do it.
But I hid the spinner from you so you can't see that in fact
That's
Oh,
so mean.
they're not. Did you guys notice that that 3 came up a whole bunch?
It came in a row like 6 times. 3 and 7 came up in a row like 6 times.
And over here,
Look at that, guys.
What if you accidentally showed it? Like,
You actually got
Why would you make 8? Now you
we knew it was rigged.
No,
That's why you thought you could trick us by making us get even.
so let's go back now. So let's look at the probabilities here. So let's write down, maybe on the top of the back, what's the probability of getting a 2? Of 2? Here, let me do one other thing that'll make it easier. Yeah, 2 is 1/8. Probability of 2 is 1/8. What's the probability of 4? 1/8. What's the probability of 3? 6/8 or 3/4. Right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections that are 3 out of 8 equal sections. Probability of a 6, 1/4. Probability of a 7, 1/4. Probability of an 8, 1/2. Okay, so let's go back to this. And let's fix it. All right, so help me out here. What was the probability? The probability of 2 was 1/8. The probability of 3 was also 1/8. Probability of what?
6, 8.
Oh, the probability of 3 was 6/8.
3/4.
And we can make that 3/4. What was the other one in that group? 4? It was 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah.
Probability of 4 was 1/8, right? So that's spinner A. And then for spinner B, it was 6, 7, and 8, right? What was the probability of 6?
1/4.
1/4. Probability of 7?
1/4.
1/4. And the probability of 8 was 1/2.
Yes, sir.
So now let's construct a new probability table to actually figure out the correct probabilities for all these different things. Okay? So, the probability of getting a 2 is 1/8. The probability of getting a 3 is 3/4. The probability of getting a 4 is 1/8. Probability of getting a 6 is 1/4. The probability of getting a 7 is 1/4. The probability of getting an 8 is 1/2. So, the probability of getting a 2 and a 6, how can we find that probability? Multiply what? Right, multiply the probability of getting a 6, the probability of getting a 2. That's 1/4 times 1/8. This is 1/32. Not very likely, is it? All right, the probability of getting a 3 and then a 6 is 3/4 times 1/4. That's 3/16. Probability of getting a 4 and then a 6 is 1 out of 32. The probability of getting a 2 then a 7, how will we find that? 1/8 times 1/4. It's the same as it was before. In fact, this whole row is going to be the same as the one above it. Probability of getting a 3 then a 7 is 3/16. Probability of getting a 4 then a 7 is 1/32. The probability of getting a 2 then an 8, we're going to multiply 1/8 times a half, that's 1/16. And you may have noticed that this one came up more often than anything else. The probability of getting a 3 then an 8 is 3/8. That's the biggest probability in the entire table. You may have noticed that when we were doing it, it came up 3/8 a lot. And then the probability of getting 4/8 is 1/8 times a half is 1/16. So let's look at all of the even ones. This one is even. This one is even. This is even. This is even. This is even. So the probability of getting an even number, we need to add 1/32 plus 1/32 plus 3/16 plus 1/16 twice. Right? Those are all of the evens. I haven't made a mistake, have I? I count on you guys to check me for things like that. I'm good at math, but I'm occasionally careless. Like some of you. All right, so let's see. Let's make all these over 32. 1/32 plus 1/32 plus 6/32 plus 2/32 plus 2/32 is 12/32. Is that more than half or less than half? It's less than half. You have less than half the time you're going to pick an even number. And we'll go ahead and reduce that. Both of those are evenly divisible by 4, yes? There's a 3 in 8 chance that you'll get an even. So if I'm doing the probability that it's an odd, I can just do 1 minus 3/8, because the total probability has to be 1. So that's 8/8 minus 3/8 is 5/8. And so you were correct to mistrust me. Okay? It was a better probability that odd would win. Now, does that mean odd is going to win every time? No. Okay? It's not going to win every time, but it'll win more often than it loses. All right, let's take a look at this last one. So Elliot here loves music, especially listening to music on his music player on shuffle. I don't know about you guys, but I have a couple of lists, and I don't like listening to them in order. I have them on shuffle all the time. He has songs stored in 4 categories: country, blues, rock, and classical. 2/5 of his songs are country songs, 1/6 are classical, and 1/3 are blues, and the rest are rock. Okie dokie. So that means if you're picking at random, the probability of getting a country song, I'm going to call that CO so it's not confused with classical, is 2/5. The probability of getting a blues song is 1/6. The probability of getting a classical Oh, sorry, 1/3 are blues. My fault. 1/3 are blues, and classical is 1/6, right? How are we going to figure out the probability of getting a rock song then? Cooper, do you have a question you'd like to ask me? Okay, then let's save other questions for later, thank you. How can I find the probability of getting a rock song? Add those and then do what? I'm sorry?
Add the probabilities we have and then find the rest.
How do you, that's my question. How do you find the rest? What do you mean by find the rest?
Like you add country, blues, and classical,
Uh-huh.
and then you subtract that by 1.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you got to subtract that from 1. So this is going to be 1 minus 2/5 plus 1/3 plus 1/6. So that's 1 minus, oh, that's horrible, isn't it? What is the least common denominator we can use here? 30. Yeah, it's got to be something that's divisible by all of those. So to get 2/5 into something over 30, we need to multiply by 6 over 6. So that's going to be 12/30 plus 1/3 is 10/30. And 1/6 will multiply by 5 over 5 is 5/30. So that's 1 minus 27/30. So that'll be 3/30 or 1/10. So what is the likelihood that his first 2 songs will be a country song and then a classical? We're just going to multiply those 2 probabilities. The probability that you're going to get a country song, then get a classical song, will be the probability of getting a country song, 2/5, times the probability of getting a classical song, 1/6. So that's 2/30 or 1/15. Notice this is an and. On this next one, it's an or. what's the likelihood that either a country song or a classical song will come up first? So the probability that we're going to get a country song or a classical song. What are we going to do with the probabilities this time? Yes. Yeah, we're going to add them. It's 2/5 plus 1/6. Again, the common denominator there is 30. Multiply the first one by 6/6. That's 12/30 plus 5/30. It's 17/30. What's the likelihood that the first two songs are blues? Is that an and or an or? It's an and. A blues and another blues. So it's the probability of blues, then blues. So that'll be 1/3 times 1/3. There's only a 1 in 9 chance that it'll be like that. What's the likelihood that the first two songs will be rock, then country? So it's the probability of rock. Is that or is that a then? It's a then. So that's rock we figured out was 1/10 times probability of a country song is 1/6. There's only 1 out of 60 chance that that's going to happen. Did I do something wrong?
1/6 is classical.
Oh, country is 2/5. My fault. Thank you. See, this is why I ask you guys to do these things. 2 out of 50 is 1 out of 25. Any questions? Please be reminded that you do have a quiz tomorrow.